We need to be very specific. On the same note, in F3F, one person nominated by coffee cooperative societies. This is where the small-scale farmers...
Let's go back to, let's exhaust this one first.
That is what I'm saying. So the chair needs to be specific.
Gichemo.
Chair, the large-scale farmers are normally the estate
for the benefit of those of us who are not well versed with that, can you be a large-scale farmer without being an estate farmer?
No, and the estate farmers have already been covered under clause 7F as it is now. One person nominated by the largest association of estate growers. So that one is already covered. So we need to leave FE as it is for the small-scale farmers also to have some good space in the management of the coffee in this country.
Anybody who wants to contribute on the same, just to make it clearer for us? Yes, Meli, go on. Omochomba, I'll come to you. Yes, Omochomba.
So just to assist our chair, we are trying to say that looks like there is double entry for the large-scale farmers. Mm-hmm. Some defined in your bill, Chair, as estate growers and then as large-scale farmers. So that's a double entry. So we are proposing that we leave it as it was.
Chair, Chair, you want to say something? Put some clarity on that, Father. If need be, you consult with your ministry people. We'll give you a minute to go and consult with them. Let's get this right, because then we are. Yes, Wamuchomba.
Even as the chair consults with the technocrats, I think the intention of this kind of discussion we are having is to make sure that we don't take away. Am I still on?
Yes.
Is to make sure that we don't take away the space that was meant for the small-scale farmers who are operating as cooperatives. So we make sure we protect that space.
Not crowd it with the large-scale farmers,
exactly.
When the large-scale farmers have got their own provision in the Act.
Yes, just to help the chairman.
Mutunga, just proceed and tell us what exactly you need to do to correct that anomaly.
Honorable Chair, if we do away with the large-scale farmers as it is,
yes,
who also represent the estates, there's no provision for the estates in this bill. In the clause 7.
Please
this is the amended version. We are saying we have amended. Look at the order paper, the amended version. Don't look at the original bill. Because we looked at the provisions that were made, the cooperative societies were missing. They needed to be represented. Small-scale farmers needed to be represented. Large-scale farmers needed to. Who are the estates right now?
Yes, Meli. Meli.
If that is the case, then in 3, Chair, 3, there is a deleting paragraph F substituted there for the following paragraph F, one person nominated by coffee cooperative societies. In that, the smallholders are always in cooperative societies. Are you seeing that? So the estates are lacking, and the large-scale farmers.
No, they are not. They are in a 3.
Give the mic to Mutunga.
So
give the mic to Mutunga. Yes.
Read 7.2 as per the order paper. It reads by deleting E and substituting there with the following new paragraph. 2 persons of opposite gender representing smallholders and large-scale coffee growers association nominated by the umbrella body. It is the one that it gives, there is an association and there is a cooperative. There are 2 institutions. Okay. There is the Association of Coffee Growers and there are the cooperatives. Association of Coffee Growers exists as an entity, as a lobby and advocacy
Honorable
organization.
Gichemu, let's
so
hear you.
large small-scale farmers are represented twice. And that is better for the sector.
Chair, I think we are trying to get the best for the coffee farmers.
Yes, yes.
And in my knowledge, in this space, because actually Gishogo grows a lot of coffee. Cooperative societies are built out of the small-scale farmers. It is a group of small-scale farmers that form these cooperative societies. And if you look, what is trying to be inserted here by the committee, with due respect, there is no definition of a large-scale grower in the bill. So it means that if we indicate a body to nominate someone which is not even defined in the Act, then that will bring a problem. So I think Clause 7 should be left as it is in the original bill, and it covers each and every sector. And we debated this for a long time. So I believe 7 should be left as it is.
Can I have it, please? Wamuchomba?
I would want to ask the chairman to try and help us understand so that we can meet somewhere, because we are all working towards the benefit of all farmers, whether large scale or small scale. Now that he's introducing a term called large scale farmers, are they well defined in this bill? And when you say you're talking about the one that is in order paper, the one I'm holding, I have not found that definition. If the term large scale farmer is not there, then we are introducing a foreign group into the bill, and it's going to continue bringing confusion.
Yes, go on, Osoro.
Chair,
We
I am tempted to agree with Honorable Gishimo
yes,
entirely.
yes.
And I've been going through this quietly, and I think...
Can I give you a few minutes, you, Gishumu, Mtunga, Wamuchomba, consult
Okay,
briefly?
that's fine.
And Mary, all of you, we'll keep on hold.
Just for 1 minute, yes.
Yes. This is a very, very important landmark bill that we are passing. And I remember very well 32 years ago, we tried to do the same, and we couldn't get anywhere. And I don't want us to do any half job on this. Yes. Thank you. KJ, I suggest in your own wisdom you participate in this small consultation. We are not, are we on record? Okay, well, Mutunga, I hope you now move the agreed version of the amendment.
Okay, Honorable Chair, we have agreed that we stick to the old bill.
Yes.
We drop the amendments by the committee.
So that was
So clause 7
clause 7.
is not amended.
Okay.
Passes unamended.
I now propose the question that clause 7 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 7 be part of the bill. As many of the opinions say aye, as many of the contrary opinions say nay, the ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I now propose the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. Mover, move the amendment of clause 8.
Clause 8, I move that clause 8 be amended. But be amended as per the order paper, but be further amended. I don't know whether that is correct. Because we have inclusions in clause 8 that touch on clause 7. So we delete what was amended in clause 7 to be constitute clause 8. Again, yeah, I think it will be fine if we do that. It will be okay.
Proceed and read the amendment as amended or as further amended, as you put it.
Yes, as further amended.
Yes.
Chair.
Plus 8, clause 8, proceed and read for us amendment. Read for us the amendment so that every members are on the same page with you.
Clause 8, we read as follows. By deleting the...
No?
I think we are not amending clause 8. Clause 8 was anchored on clause 7. It was giving the conditions for clause 7. Conditions of appointment by in clause 7. So clause 8, there is no amendment.
So there's no amendment on clause 8?
There's no amendment on clause 8.
Okay, I now put the question. No, sorry. I propose the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. You have an amendment for clause 8?
Yes.
Okay, proceed, Honorable Gishimu.
Yeah, thank you. I propose that clause 8 be amended by, as indicated on the paper, by inserting clause 8(1)(ca), that the requirements of subsection 1b shall not apply to a member appointed under subsection under section 7E and F. The Honorable Speaker, the justification of this amendment is that under section 7E or clause 7E and F, this is where we are seeking that there be a representation of the farmers at the board. And we've also indicated under 8(1)(b)(2) that the requirement is only a certificate in secondary school education. So I'm seeking that for those farmers who are small-scale farmers, they should not be required to have a minimum of 3 years experience, preferably in management in coffee, because these are farmers that we are picking or will be picked directly from actually they are farmers. So there is no need of a management experience. So that is why we are saying, I'm seeking that we exclude that category.
You delete 8(1)(c). Is that what you're saying?
Not deleting, we exclude. Others can have those management skills. But for the farmers that are, for the category E and F, they be excluded. So that will not apply to the farmers who are just, who are actually being appointed by other farmers to represent them. There's no point of having them I mean, requiring them to have those management skills.
Yes, Honorable Osoro.
Chair,
Yes.
all the other appointments, because most of the appointments that require a degree from a recognized University of Kenya, and that is A to G, Honorable Speaker, and there are appointments that require, and I think that if I'm getting Honorable Gishimo very well, that require a certificate in secondary education. Looking at the small-scale farmers, or these farmers back in the villages, you will agree with me that not all of them have got such qualifications. Then that ideally means they'll have to either appoint their sons or daughters or something to, yet they have no history of what coffee is. And I think it's indeed true that we agree with Honorable Gishimo that be delinked from them, so that we have a representative, because already the leader, one who is on top, is a degree holder. You then do not need to have a person of a secondary qualification. There's a person leading. So I think it's important that we also consider the farmers back in the villages, Honorable Speaker. Yes.
Yes, Oundo.
Yeah, I had an amendment, and my amendment, Honorable Chair, was informed on the fact that numerous researches that have been conducted have indicated that one of the impediments to the advancement of agriculture is low level of educational qualification of the participants in the sector. But I have been persuaded by Honorable Gishimo, because that's where the rubber meets the road, and 2027 is not too far, I dropped my amendments on clause 8.
I propose the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed. Now, I put the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed. As many of that opinion say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say aye. The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 8 as amended be part of the bill. As many of the opinion say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I just a little bit of guidance on this so that you can get it right. When it says that a part of the qualification is has at least 3 years experience, preferably in the management of the coffee sector. If somebody has been managing a small 1 acre farm or 2 acres farm, is that also considered as the right experience? Can we yes, from Chomba.
Chair, in as much as we want to have an all-inclusive sector in the coffee industry, please, I am a bit hesitant to go in the thinking of Honorable Gishimo, and I'll tell you why. The reason why we've been having a lot of mess in the coffee cooperative society is having people who are inept in running those coffee societies in terms of financial management, in terms of data collection, and all that requires the power of the pen. Education and skills and achievement in terms of running such kind of sector. That is why we are here we are. Yeah. Okay. Because we have pushed those people into levels where they cannot prove themselves. So if we start accommodating them in such sensitive boards, then we still find ourselves in the same problem. I'm sorry, I am pro-farmer. I argue for the farmer. But I am one of those that believe for us to be able to revamp coffee sector, we must put the right people in the right offices. Not every farmer can fit in a board to argue out issues of board, issues of financial management. In as much as we want to accommodate them, let us also be careful so that we don't introduce a problem that will become another problem. Thank you. But
you have just passed that 8 as amended in line with Gichimo's. Yes, Muchunga. Yes.
Honorable Chair, Honorable Gichimo's amendment was on the issue, or was to lift out of the farmer's requirement the issue of having experience, preferably in management in the coffee sector.
To be a member of the board.
to be a member of the board.
And
But you
Wachomba
should
is
have
saying
a
that
minimum-
primarily because of that.
should have a minimum of
Yes.
secondary school education. That one is adopted. Somebody with secondary school education and has been practicing farming must be able to articulate issues on farming and can also competently, discuss matters in the board.
Okay.
But then they must not have, this can be exclusive, this can be discriminatory to have them, to indicate that they must have management,
Skills.
experience management for at least 3 years.
Yes. Osoro.
Chair, I think Honorable Gishimu might have failed to move the further amendment, and I think that is why we are in this situation that we are in. But even as we debate with the Honorable...
I think we'll have to go back to clause 8.
As we go there, Honorable Chair,
Yes.
Honorable Chair, as we go to that, I really wanted to persuade the Honorable Wamushomba and maybe the Chair for this, with this reasoning. Honorable Speaker, we need to be very careful not to go against the spirit of the Constitution on discrimination and everything. This very House, a degree requirement was passed, but it has always been deferred on implementation through so many other channels, court, and every other aspects, because people say a degree is not a measure of intelligence. I mean, that's why we have people here who didn't even go to beyond, who didn't even go beyond class 8, and they are doing very well. They are, because the authenticity of, speaking good English, Honorable Chair, is not a measure of intelligence. The authenticity of one's experience and, or rather what they can be able to do in life sometimes comes out of practice and what you do often, over and over. If that class 3 person has been able to maintain coffee, Honorable Wamushomba, if that class 3 person has been able to maintain his own farm and coffee for 20, 30, 40 years, and I'm talking about my grandfather, successfully, that is experience enough. He doesn't need a paper of Form 4 that was teaching about anthropology and types of abundance and banner, parts of abundance and banner. I mean, really, let's be practical. And this is a board.
Let's listen. I've heard you. You've heard you.
Let me finish, Chair. And this is a board.
Yeah.
A board will be a hybrid. There is a degree person. There is also a person who didn't go to school, and that is okay.
The Honorable Gladys Cholet. Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I think I've just been following the discussions by my colleagues in relation to the qualifications of the people serving on these cooperative boards. But I think it has nothing to do with education at all. It has something to do with honesty.
Integrity.
Some integrity. Someone is corrupt because they have a personality defect. It has nothing to do with their education. And if you look at the most successful cooperatives, from the time of my grandfather, Keyo Cooperative House, they were not educated. It was well managed. They bought buildings. They invested. Today, their own grandchildren, great-grandchildren cannot do the same thing.
Yes,
and it was not
Gishemo.
because they were educated. So, and I think also, remember we already have structures. Because of devolution, we are in a better place. In every, I think most counties have been encouraged to have a cooperative officer in every ward. And I know that Elgeyo Marakwet County has done that. That's one of the counties you can say has done that. So if they have those cooperative officers, and then they also have the CEC cooperatives at the county, and then they also have the commissioner cooperatives for the county who reports to the Ministry of Cooperatives here in Nairobi. Those are the ones who are supposed to be supervising and interrogating the books. And that's why I said the corruption is with the cooperative officers. The corruption is with the commissioners of cooperatives who are domiciled under the ministry. They are the ones who allow the books to be crooked. They are the ones who allow the wrong officials to hold office and so on. So it's not about the qualification. It's the guidelines what we shall give. And I know that immediately after this act passes and becomes an act of parliament, we'll be able to develop regulations and guidelines of how this can be monitored to ensure that these problems don't have. That they have a very good database of shareholders. And now, with the technology that we have, they can actually register them biometrically, like IEBC does. They can borrow IEBC equipment, they register them, and then they are able to have a confirmed list of shareholders. When it is voting, they can vote through the same system, and therefore it's nothing to do with education.
There are two bills, other honorable members, there are two bills that are going concurrently. We just disposed of, I think we have not taken the cooperative bill yet. This is the coffee bill, and this is the coffee board. This is the coffee board. Yes, yes. It's not about the cooperatives. No. Yes. Yeah. I'll give you, Omuchamba, I'll give you all the time. This thing is so dear to my heart that I will not move on this until we have really been educated on this. Now, can I see here you Gichumu and then Omuchamba?
Chair.
And then Meli.
Chair, let us members get this right. I'm not seeking to amend to remove the requirement of a Form 4 certificate for a board member. That one, there was an amendment by Honorable Undo, which was seeking to seek post Form 4, which he has already accepted to drop. So that is retained. What I was seeking is for these members of the board not to have a requirement of a management in a coffee sector, because it is to me, that would require that you have already gone employed in a coffee sector and earned that experience. That is what I was seeking to remove. And Honorable Chair, with your concurrence, this matter is functors official, because you've already done. We've already.
I agree with you. I've taken this liberty myself to allow this ventilating, but of course then I'll give a ruling on exactly how we continue. You can only change this in the recommittal, but it's fair that we listen to every member because of the sensitivity and basically the strategic location of coffee farming in this country. Yes, Omuchomba, and then you come back to Mary.
Allow me now to speak as a farmer.
Yeah.
As I argue out this space. We are speaking about a member who is going to be part of Coffee Board of Kenya. What is the function of Coffee Board of Kenya? One of the functions of Coffee Board of Kenya is mandated to make sure that we qualify marketing activities, and therefore you need to be a person that understands grading of coffee, profiling of coffee, and all the technical understanding that is needed for you to be able to propagate and profile your coffee, whether in Kenya or outside Kenya. What kind of a person do you think can sit in that board and effectively represent the interest of farmers? We are not talking about the chairman of a cooperative society. We are speaking about a board member of a national body called Coffee Board of Kenya. So we need people who can be able to ably represent our quality coffee. Thank you very much. So I beseech everybody who is debating this matter to consider and reconsider that the people we are entrusting with Coffee Board of Kenya are not just jokers. They are people who understand what you're talking about.
Okay.
I think Honorable Mushomba is well said. It is well said. And in fact, Chair, even the deliberations, even to understand board minutes, even to go into international meetings and forums on coffee, we need people who have actually understand. So I think Honorable Mushomba just put it very clear.
Thank you, Chair. I agree with Honorable Muchomba, because coffee is not sold in the village. Coffee is marketed nationally and internationally. Chair, we need somebody who is well acquainted to all the laws and every other statutory law that allows the marketing of coffee. Thank you, Chair.
Finally, Meli, and then we proceed on. Unless Mutunga was... You have spoken. Now, it is as, yes, Mutunga.
Honorable Chair, I think this particular clause is bringing in a lot of issues. If we look at the original bill, the original version of the original version of the bill is very, very clear. This amendment, let's look at the amendment versus the original version of the bill, because the amendment seems to be knocking out 8B. And it therefore seems to be doing away with on those two provisions. I'm of the opinion that we stick to the original bill. On that particular issue. Because What the Honorable Gishimo should do is bring in further amendment to only stick to the 8C. That is, exclude 8C to 7E and F. That's what you should be saying.
You know,
Unless it brings further amendment.
The problem and the dilemma I have right now
Yes.
is this business of trying to rush business in the House. No, hang on a minute. Because ideally, if you have to go strictly by the rules, you can only amend this back and go back to the original bill through the committal. But because it is a scanty understanding and we have gotten educated on it, I'm tempted to go back to clause 8. Yes. Yes. I want to put the question and all the proposals afresh because
Ask him for a bit of some clarity, particularly on C of the original bill, the 8C, that has at least 3 years experience, preferably in management in the coffee sector. We then need to ask ourselves here. We all agree that where we've come from, currently as presently constituted, most of these people who are elected in the villages or in the local society groups are the only ones with experience. Those ones. Then, as it were, there were now the educational qualifications and everything. They're the only ones now who are leading the cooperative societies back in the villages. If I am not elected, I didn't manage to get elected. The person who was elected does not have educational qualification, minimum educational qualification. Where will this farmer in the village get the 3 years experience from? Particularly 3 years experience in terms of management, because he is never, and that Honorable Chair, you posed a very important question. How then do we authenticate the management? Do we again go to the farmer's farm and say, I have been able to manage my farm, I then have 3 years experience? If Chair is able to convince me on this particular, because the secondary education is quite convincible. But this particular one, 3 years experience, Mr. Speaker, even when we have challenges of students people seeking jobs and losing jobs or lacking jobs because of such thing called experience. No. And we should
how many are the members of the coffee board? How many are the members, Muchunga, of the coffee board? Just educate us on that. 9 members nationally, basically to promote coffee industry and production and everything else and marketing and make us, reap the gold, the black gold. Okay.
Chair, we are talking about the board that is called Coffee Board of Kenya.
That's what I thought.
This is the Coffee Board of Kenya.
Yes.
So it has absolutely nothing to do with what happens at the village.
Absolutely.
But let me be very, very, very basic. Assume I have not gone to school. I've gone to school up to Form 4. And I have a very successful coffee farm. Do I have experience? Chair, let's look at this particular provision.
Order, Honorable Osoro.
Let's look at this provision.
Order.
As at least 3 years experience, preferably in management in the coffee sector. Coffee sector has from coffee seedlings, coffee planting, pulping, management of the selling and so on. It has got a lot. If you have experience in farming, in production of coffee, that's what you bring to the board. So I think we leave it at that.
Gishimo, yes.
If you convince me,
yes.
If I'm convinced,
Osoro, Honorable Osoro, order, Honorable Osoro.
If I'm convinced,
take your seat. No, okay, you can go and sit to the Honorable Meli, but don't make any loud pronouncements.
Chair, I wouldn't have a problem.
Yes.
If the experience that is being sought under the HC includes farming, I would have no problem with that. But you see, now we have not said what is management in coffee sector. Someone may say that it is management.
Honorable Osoro.
That needs to be qualified.
Yes, what's the point of order, Honorable Meli?
Chair, as a matter of procedure,
yes,
I think this House needs to, when we are actually going through these bills,
yes,
we must know which clause we are discussing, and at whatever level. Honorable Gishimo, yes, is giving us a very good idea. But when you look at, at all this, he's supposed to bring a further amendment, which he has not done so. He has not done so. And in effect, I support what you are saying, but you first of all need to bring a further amendment so to make procedure, so that we don't become a talk shop.
Order, honorable members. Indeed, yes, Honorable Gishimo, you're supposed to bring a further amendment, and if I remember the rules the way they were in the early days, in writing. Am I right? Or you propose it on the floor? Yeah?
Which is?
Yes, the Funyula MP. Gishimo, give a moment. Yes.
Chair.
Yes.
I think we have ventilated this matter for fairly too long.
Yes.
And we seem to be like just going around circles. And as Honorable Gishimo had said, we already defunct as official in respect of that clause. Why can't we engage sideways and recommit that particular clause? We go apply our mind over the weekend. When we come back on Tuesday, allowing the procedures allowing, we recommit. Because I was persuaded by him to drop my amendment. But I truly believe an effective board requires some level of education, some level of experience for it to be effective. But if you really want
I think
to
on
pick
the overall, the manner in which we transacted this particular clause was a little bit not normal. We rushed it, and I must take certain blame for it also myself. Because here we are now, I think there's, how many members do we have here? And the majority of you are in favor of something different from what the honorable member is proposing. Order. Now, both ways are acceptable. But then let's listen to the chair, Omachomba, one last time.
I still want to support the chairman's position.
Okay.
And allow me to speak politics now of coffee. Yes. If we leave this opportunity of nominating somebody into the Coffee Board of Kenya without any of those qualifications that we are asking for, we are just going to open up this position for any politician to be appointed. We are going to make it just any other appointment. And we'll have people who are coming from another sector being appointed politically into that position. So how do we make sure that we safeguard this position to people who have some experience in coffee management? And please remember, we are discussing Coffee Board of Kenya, a national
come back
body.
to the chairman. Honorable Mabona, yes.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, there is no coffee grown in Suba North. But I think Honorable Wunda has actually suggested a better way forward. Otherwise, we'll be talking here forever. This clause can be recommitted. So instead of debating and everybody, if I'm listening to everybody, they seem to be agreeing.
I think, Honorable...
Yeah, so can it just be recommitted?
Honorable Mabona, I think we basically rushed through this thing, and I take part of the blame myself. Because, I mean, the way it was, and Osoro wants us to just say aye, and pass everything. I don't want to live with my conscience to see something that was not properly, exhaustively discussed and debated on and agreed on. So I basically would want to listen to the chairman again. We're getting more educated on all these things, which is not in vain. It's not in vain.
Yeah. I would like...
This is a debating house.
Yes.
This is a house of talking. You get paid for talking. Yes. So nobody should have a problem us taking a long time talking. Proceed.
Chair, I would like to pick from what Honorable Mchomba said. Chair, there are very many coffee farmers who are not actually farmers. They have never managed a coffee farm. They have never managed processing or anything. Let us take the literal meaning of management. And I have the literal meaning of management, and I would like to read it. Chair, management can be defined as the process of getting the work done or tasks done that is required for achieving the goals of an organization in an efficient and effective manner. If you have been running your farm in a very efficient and effective manner, producing coffee progressively, like a farmer I know, who is producing 30 kilos from a tree, Chair, I think you have experience in management. So we don't want anybody who has a coffee farm to vie for a position in the Coffee Board of Kenya. We want somebody who has experience in managing coffee at one point at one of the segments of the value chain. So
all the way to the international markets.
Because there will be experts in the others, among the others who are appointed to the board, if we have somebody who is clear on production of coffee, that is somebody who has management experience in production of coffee. And that is why we are saying the two farmer representatives be captured as such.
Yes, Honorable Gishimu.
Chair, I would have no problem. That was my concern. Then, as we go along, then the chair needs to move another amendment to define what is management in coffee sector, so that now we'll be able to cover the farmer. Thank you.
Any other? Omochomba, you still have something to say on this? Okay.
I am in agreement that we go the direction of the chair and also accommodate the request of Honorable Gishimu.
You're okay with Honorable Gishimu that? No, so what do I do now? Because the amendment has not, I don't have that amendment to accommodate what you want. We take the bill as it is, and then he comes up with a further amendment. Unless the recommittal, yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
if he recommits,
Yes.
now also bring the other amendment,
Yes.
I will abide with that.
Okay. Now, this was clause 8, yeah?
So we know.
Where we? Yeah. No.
Clause 9.
You are going
Clause
to
9.
seek a recommittal for this, yeah?
Yeah, I'll have to bring a committee for clause 8.
You're going to seek a recommittal for clause 8 and also accommodate what you call the emotional, I must say, emotional sentiments of Honorable Gichimu, because he's got his heart in the coffee sector and really wants to protect the small farmers. So you're going to bring that one up.
Yeah, Chair, I will recommend.
Without taking away our global competitive edge and in bringing in good people, whatever you want it as you put it,
Chair,
but at the same time you have, okay, then proceed to.
Chair, I will recommit clause 8.
Yes.
So that we capture the spirit of the discussions.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now let me go to clause 9. Where's clause 9? Okay.
Clause 9.
I propose the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. Mover, Chair.
Clause 9, Chair, has been affected by the changes in clause 7 and 8. Therefore, we retain what is in the bill.
Okay. I propose that. I now propose the question that, I propose the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. As many of the opinions say aye. As many of the contrary opinions say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
I propose the question that clause 10 be part of the bill. Yes, Omuchomba. I saw you put on the light. Oh, there's no amendment. And I now put the question that clause 10 be part of the bill. As many of the opinions say aye. As many of the opinions say aye. As many of the contrary opinions say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 11.
I propose the question that clause 11 be part of the bill. Mover, Chairman.
Honorable Chair, I propose that clause 7 be amended as per the under paper. The reason being that we need to provide for ease of access of information collated and maintained by the board to ensure that research is used for market penetration and not just branding, to introducing digital market platform as a mode of marketing, and to broaden the consultation to all the licensing authorities and other relevant stakeholders in the coffee sector, as opposed to limiting to the Council of Governors only. So consultations is spread across to all stakeholders within the coffee sector.
Anybody else? Yes, Oundo. I propose the question. You have an amendment? I propose the question that clause 11 be amended as proposed. the chair, the amendments of the chair do not conflict with yours in any way. So let's first of all dispose of the one of the chair. I propose the question that clause 11 be amended. I propose the question clause 11 be amended as proposed. If there's nobody on that, I put the question that clause 11 be amended as proposed. As many of the opinion say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Yes, Ondo, go to your.
Chair, I propose that clause 11 be amended as indicated in the order paper, and basically, Honorable Chair, the amendment affects paragraph J, and what we are saying, instead of the word Kenya Bureau of Standards, let's use the term, the wording, a body mandated by our national legislation to set standards. Because we are not going to have probably Kenya Bureau of Standards in eternity, and the standards architecture is changing, there could be other players. So we are just legislating for prosperity. Posterity, so to speak, posterity.
Posterity. Honorable Mutunga.
Honorable Chair, I don't have objection to that proposed amendment, only that Kenya Bureau of Standards is a legal entity, is a body corporate, recognized by the laws of Kenya. Why we should not quote it, I think the honorable member needs to convince us.
Oundo, why do you think standards cannot be controlled by Kenya Bureau of Standards? Or what is the other bodies that you feel?
There is no other body, but there is already, Chair, probably Dr. Mtunga needs to understand the standard architecture a little bit. There is the Kenya Bureau of Standards, there's Kenya National Accreditation Services, and there are other accreditation laboratories. And then, Honorable Speaker, ideally, anybody else can develop a standard and get it registered and approved, either by KEBS or even KIPI or any other standards architecture. That's why we want it to open up, to be elaborate, because there are going to be changes. Even you look, Chair, look at the Business Laws Amendment. There is some amendments to the Standards Act. Actually, Honorable Chair, KEBS is established pursuant to a provision of the Standards Act. Actually, the important legislation, the overriding legislation is actually the Standards Act. It's the Standards Act. That's why we are saying national legislation mandated to set standards. But it's upon for the members to decide.
Omuchomba.
Chairman, coffee is produced locally but heavily consumed internationally. The standards that we may set here may only favor domestic market. We may need to accommodate standards that are set to accommodate us in international markets. Issues of Europe GAP and many other standards that are required internationally. And therefore, I support Honorable Oudo's amendment or proposed amendment.
Anybody else who would want to weigh in on this? Melly?
Chair, I want to...
the position for...
Yes, I support the chair because this bill is not locking out the standards that Honorable...
It is, in a sense, locking out.
It is not locking out in the sense that it is in collaboration. It is actually allowing other standards, but the body that has set standards and which is actually which are stand out in the country is the Kenya Bureau of Standards. It is not saying you cannot bring any other international standards into play. So in effect, the chair's position is not locking out any other body to come in. So I want to support that.
Honorable Melly, if you read very well, it says develop and enforce the coffee industry standards and industry code of practice in collaboration, yes, with the Kenya Bureau of Standards. Yes.
Chair.
Yes, Oundo.
We need to be very careful. And Dr. Mchomba has alluded to it, very careful. Very, very careful. The WTO is explicitly clear where CABs sit, where Kenya sit, and where international standards bodies sit. We will be safer off because then it will be easy for us to get any other, because we are going to export this coffee. We're going to export this coffee, and will be subject to standards in other countries. So if we rely on CAB standards and it fails standards outside the country, what recourse do we have?
Mutunga, before you talk on that, would it be even better for you? Because I know there are certain EU standards for the beef that lives this country, for the fish that goes out of this country. For a lot of things, they insist on their own standards. And in effect, I would not see why they would not insist also on the coffee industry. Would you want to do a consultation with your own technocrats?
No,
okay,
I would
proceed.
like to say something.
Proceed.
I would like to refer the House to provision number M. I think it is function number M. Function
M
number
of which
M.
one?
M.
M of 11, clause 11? Clause 11 does not have, yes.
Clause 11.
Yes.
Subclause M. M says, conduct surveillance and enforce compliance with the relevant policies, standards, and legislation on the coffee sector. That opens up for everyone else. Now, on the other side, we are not saying that, first of all, Chair, we need to remember that Kenya Bureau of Standards is the custodian of the standards in this country. Anyone who is doing a standard must consult the Kenya Bureau of Standards, even in coming up with the nomenclature of that particular standard. So we cannot say any institution from anywhere will come and develop standards without this consultation. And the bill just prescribes consultation. It doesn't say as approved by the Kenya Bureau of Standards. Consultation can also be need to annihilation of a standard. So I don't know why my very respected friend is not comfortable.
Yes, Ondo.
Chair, I want us to avoid, normally.
I'm actually extremely impressed. We might not have too many people here, but there is a hell of a lot of knowledge that's coming out of this. You have serious experts here. So Undo, continue. Proceed.
Chair,
yes.
We already have an anomaly in this country.
Yes.
That the set of the enforcer is the same one who sets the standards. And that debate is ongoing in this country. That surely CCABs cannot set standards and enforce its own standards. What he is referring to, M, is enforcement. It's different, distinctly different from setting standards. And for his own purpose, for him to understand, CABs register standards. Many other scientists, many other players in the industry develop standards. They go through a standardization process. CABs, many times, simply registers those standards. Honorable Speaker, let me ask you, public health sets standards, and without reference to CABs. Does surveillance without reference to CABs. CAFIS sets standards.
Proceed, Oundo.
The medical field.
You get your moment, yeah.
The medical field has standards which are not reference to CAFIS, to CABs. Honorable Speaker, universities set standards. The Ministry of Education sets the standards for a degree program or not. The coffee industry is not about the coffee cherry. It's even the standards ISO are not accredited by CABs. What are we talking about, Chair? Why are we simply refusing to see the obvious? I rest my case.
Muchomba, I love it. Proceed, Muchomba.
In the coffee sector, Chair, we have what we call Q grading system. This is a strictly grading system that allows most of our small-scale farmers in this country to sell coffee that is known as specialty coffee. And that is a world standard. It is not a Kenyan standard. And therefore, if we limit ourselves within Kenyan standard, I think we are going to restrict ourselves and demarcate ourselves. So I still support what Honorable Udo is saying. Kenya Bureau of Standards is not the only basic standard that is used in the coffee sector, especially if we are looking at selling our coffee internationally.
Gishimo, order, Honorable Undo, you will have your moment. Honorable Gishimo.
Chair, thank you for the opportunity. I concur with Honorable Udo and Honorable Omuchomba. Although the chair's intention is well intended, but now he's restricting coffee to the local market. What if we've signed so many agreements, trade agreements, EU, we signed it the other day. It was ratified by this House.
Parliament, yes.
We did the Kenya, UK trade agreement, which is active. They might have standards that might not be the standards that have already been set by KEBS. And you know, KEBS, somehow, they develop their own standards and they enforce them. And sometimes they develop standards with interest, and especially for goods that are coming out of the country. So that is where we are saying, let us not limit. Why don't we have it generally to conform with standards without limiting to KEBS? Because someone would argue that my coffee cannot be able to be exported out of the country because the standards required out there in the EU, in the UK, in the US, or wherever, even through AGOA, they have not been met because I've complied with the local standards and I feel that I'm pretty. So I think we should open it to international level, but instead of limiting it to the Kenyan standards. Thank you.
The Honorable Honorable Oundo, this is not how you engage in debate in the House. Omuchomba, did you raise your hands? Okay. Honorable, because I wanted to give one more person a shot at this before I give it to the chairman. Yes, Meli, proceed.
Chair, as I hear the intentions of Honorable Undo and the other members, therefore, if this bill is, because Kenya, we sell almost 95% of our coffee in the international market, then therefore it is the local Kenya Bureau of Standards and other set international standards. In that sense, because we have the Rainbow Alliance, I'm saying that, because what Honorable Undo is saying, yes, Kenya Bureau of Standards and many other local standards, but we have the international standards like what the Rainbow Alliance normally do, what the European Union normally do for our meat, even the fish. If we do not meet that, especially on what we call the lead or what is in those particular, the chemicals that are within the coffee and even in the meat or in whichever, we therefore allow the international standards to come in, which we always have to, we always consider, because you can't export what the international community do not agree with. So I do agree with you, but our local standards needs to come into play. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Oundo, before I give it to Mutunga.
I just want to persuade the chair, please. I sit in the Committee of Trade, Industry and Cooperative. I and Gishimo had the opportunity to go to Frankfurt to attend an international conference that was dealing with the issue of international standards in compliance with the World Trade Organization. So what we are talking about, we have no romantic attachment. We don't hate KEBS. In any case, KEBS is created under the Standards Act. The overriding act is the Standard Act, not KEBS. Just understand. Thank you.
Okay, proceed, Honorable
Chair,
this,
the provisions
Dr.
in this
Mutunga,
particular clause, Honorable Chair,
yes,
are very simplistically stated. Very simplistically. What does my very learned friend, if I may use that word, understand by in collaboration with? What does Dr. Uda understand when we say in collaboration with? Does it mean it must be KEBS? It also presumes that there are others. You can put together as many as you can. Again, it says, on M, the surveillance and compliance of the policies and the standards. It is also open. I think we need to
the Honorable Omuchomba.
I also want to share some experience, Honorable Chair.
Yeah.
I've been in the agricultural sector for a while. And I remember when Europe came up with a standard. What did we do as a country? We developed a standard that is higher than Europe GAP, so that our standard is even better, so that our goods are accepted even more It was beyond their standard because the supermarkets who had come up and said, these goods cannot enter our markets. So it was in collaboration. KEBS, yes, he said is put together by the Standards Act, but the Standards Act does not presume any level of experience. KEBS is the institution that is experienced in developing these standards in collaboration with others. You can have KEFIs, you can have KIPI, and so on. So that collaboration opens up for everyone. So I don't see any mischief in leaving this clause as it is. I don't see any mischief because it opens up for
Honorable
everyone.
Muchamba, take exactly 1 minute because you have come to the end of this. Now I have to report.
The
progress.
reason why we really were looking forward to this new coffee bill is so that we can run away from the many bureaucracies that are created during lawmaking like we are doing. Why should you force a farmer to go to Kenya Bureau of Standards and maybe the only licensing and standard needed is just a Q standard, for example, for specialized coffee? Why would you put it in the law that I have to go to Kenya Bureau of Standards and then I go to look for the other standard that is needed by my buyers? Those many bureaucracies we've been having for our farmers is what we are running away from. So we don't need KEBS here if really farmers don't need it. Why are we putting things to make farmers processes of getting to sell their product become a bit more difficult? And by the way, this KEBS thing is also costly. Where are we adding costs? If really the only standard we need is for example, Q standard, let us just open the law so that Q standard can be the basic that
Chair,
is needed.
I have to report progress because the House is going to adjourn. Yes.
Let me remind ourselves again that it is not the farmers who are developing the standards. It is the Coffee Board of Kenya in consultation with Kenya Bureau of Standards.
Now the question is why close that in consultation to just one?
What is wrong with
standards?
Consulting with who is the competent agency in this country? It is Standards Act a competent agency, my friend.
Okay.
The one who is recognized internationally.
I give you 1 minute and then I'll report progress.
In every sector, we have a competent agency. And the only one
I think
here is the Kenya Bureau.
Chair.
And Chair.
We are getting into opening up, as we are hearing here, is having some interesting international bodies coming with a standard here, which is not verified by anybody, any Kenyan, and then telling us this is the one we shall play by. We better believe in our institutions.
What's your point of order, Honorable KJ? KJ, what's your point of order?
Honorable Chair.
Yes.
Honorable Chair, I want to declare my interest that in Dagoretti South constituency, we only have one coffee farm. But the matter that is being raised here by the Honorable Chair is a matter of great interest. The issue of standards can get us into very big problems. I would want to agree with the argument presented by the Honorable Gathoni Wamuchomba and Professor. However, out of experience, Mr. Chair, we have had a situation where products from Kenya have been barred from international market, not using our local standards, but using standards from other bodies like the EU. Case in point has been the flowers. This is not speculative now, Honorable Chair. This is out of experience.
My Honorable, half a minute, and then I'll have to do the reporting.
Chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I am so much interested in this clause because let us have at the back of our minds that coffee is an international product. It is not limited to our local market. And therefore, Chair, I truly agree with Honorable Oundo that we should allow standards that will allow us to compete competitively internationally.
Order, honorable members, order. Honorable Wamuchomba, Honorable KJ, and Honorable Mutunga, you have order. You have all the time between now and the next time we are coming to this committee for you to harmonize all these brilliant ideas and see what we can have. Let's have the best for this country. And in the meantime, Honorable, the mover of the bill, please move the reporting. Move the reporting. Wako, you are the leader of currently the acting leader of majority, so proceed. Give the mic to the Honorable Wako.
Yeah, thank you. Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee.
Proceed. Go to the next one. I don't know whether. Yeah.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the coffee bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2023 up to clause 11, and its approval thereof with amendments, and seek leave to sit again.
Thank you, Chair. I put the. It's clause 10. Go back again because we have not exhausted clause 11. Change the clause 10, 11 to 10. Okay. Because clause 11 debate is still going to continue. Just do exactly what you went through. Instead of saying clause 11, just say clause 10.
Okay. Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the coffee bill, Senate Bill number 10, and its approval thereof with amendments, and seek leave to sit again.
Thank you. I now put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its considerations of coffee bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2023, up to clause 10, and its approval thereof with amendments, and seek leave to sit again. As many out of opinion say aye. As many out of opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Somebody give me the mic. Mike.
Chairperson, to report to the House.
This is Honorable Speaker. I beg to report to the Committee of the Whole House that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Technopolis Bill, National Assembly Bill number 6 of 2024, and its approval thereof with amendments.
The mover to move agreement
The mover.
with the report.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report, and I hereby call upon the Honorable Millie Mabona Odhiambo to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
I second.
The honorable members, I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Yeah, for the convenience of the House, the question to this particular bill will be put the next time. It will be scheduled to be transacted by the House Business Committee. Next. The chairperson, in respect of the next bill.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the coffee bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2023, up to clause 10, and approved the same with amendments, and seek leave to sit again.
The mover to move agreement with the report.
Yeah, thank you. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request Honorable Undo to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Speaker, I second. Thank you.
The honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. In the mood of the House that I put the question. Yeah, honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Order, honorable members, be upstanding. Honorable members, the time being 7:05 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 19th day of November 2024 at 2:30 p.m.